Imagine you are the captain of a large ship, sailing the sea in the year 2007. Your ship is moving near the coast of Africa, in an area close to the country called Somalia. This part of the ocean is very important for ships traveling between Europe and Asia, going towards the Suez Canal. As you look at the water, you see small, fast boats moving towards you quickly. There are men in these boats, and they have guns. These men are pirates. They come right next to your ship and use ladders to climb up. They want to take control of your ship and make you and your crew prisoners. Their goal is money. They will ask for a large payment called a ransom to release you and your ship safely. If this money is not paid quickly, the people on the ship can be held by the pirates for a long time. This could mean days, weeks, months, or even years as prisoners. This situation became very common. Around the year 2007, and in the years that followed, many hundreds of ships were attacked in this way. Many sailors and captains were taken by pirates operating near Somalia. It was a serious problem for ships from all over the world. But how did this happen? How did this area become so dangerous? This story will tell you about the pirates from Somalia. It will explain how men who were once simple fishermen came to be part of dangerous groups that attacked ships on the ocean. It is a story about how people's lives changed greatly. 2. What is piracy? If someone takes things from people on land, we call them a thief. But if they take things from people on a ship at sea, we call them a pirate. Pirates have been on the sea for a very, very long time. As long as people have used ships to move goods from one place to another, there have been pirates. You might know stories about pirates from long ago. There were pirates like Blackbeard. He lived hundreds of years ago. These old pirates sailed on the oceans. They attacked other ships to steal money and valuable things. Some of them were poor men who wanted a better life. They saw the sea as a place to find money or become powerful. People often think pirates are only from history books or movies. But piracy is not just a story from the past. It still happens now, today, on the world's oceans. When we look at maps that show where ships are attacked, we see many dots. These dots show us where pirates are active around the world. Piracy happens in different seas and near different countries. Pirates attack ships that carry many goods across the water. They might want to steal things from the ship. Or sometimes they take the people on the ship and ask for money to let them go. This money is called a ransom. For many years, the area near Somalia was a very dangerous place for ships. It was a place where piracy grew. There are many reasons why this happened in that specific part of the world. This story will help us understand how the sea near Somalia became known for pirates, and why it was different from piracy in the past or in other places. It became a serious problem for ships traveling on a busy sea route. Pirates were looking for chances to attack and make money from the ships passing by. 3. Somalia's problems. In the time before the pirates became famous, Somalia had many problems. In the early 1990s, the main government in the country stopped working. This meant there was no strong government to rule Somalia. Different groups of people took control of small parts of the country, but there was no single government for the whole nation. Somalia has a very long coast next to the sea. It is the longest coast in all of Africa. Because there was no government, this long coast had no police. There were no rules to protect the sea or the people who lived there. It was like an open road for anyone to use. Soon, big fishing boats came to Somalia's waters. These boats were from other countries. They were much bigger than the small boats used by Somali fishermen. These large boats caught a lot of fish. They used big nets that caught too many fish at one time. They also hurt the seafloor with their nets. Taking so many fish was bad for the sea. It meant there were fewer fish for the Somali people to catch. Fishing was the main way many Somalis made money and got food. The big foreign boats took their living. The local fishermen could not catch enough fish anymore. Their families had less food and less money. At the same time, another bad thing happened. Some companies from other countries put dangerous waste into Somalia's waters. This waste was very bad for the sea and for the people. It could make people sick. The waste hurt the places where fish lived. So, Somali people faced two big problems. Their fish were taken by big boats from other places, and their water was made dirty and dangerous by waste. They had no government to help them. There was no one to stop the big boats or the waste. The sea, which gave them life, was in trouble. This made life very hard for many people in Somalia. 4. Fishermen fight back. Somali fishermen faced many difficulties. Large boats from other countries came and took too many fish from their sea. Also, harmful waste was put into the water near the coast. Somalia did not have a strong government that could protect its people or its waters. The fishermen saw their traditional way of life and their food supply being destroyed by outsiders. Feeling they had no other choice, some decided to act to defend their sea and their future. Groups of fishermen began to organize themselves. They formed local groups to guard the areas of the sea close to their homes. Some of these groups called themselves the Somali Coast Guard. They used their small, basic fishing boats to go out onto the water. Their goal was to find the large foreign fishing boats that were working illegally in Somali waters or dumping waste. When they found these foreign vessels, they would try to stop them. They would get on board, often carrying simple weapons. Then they would demand money from the captains or owners of the foreign boats. This money was presented as a fine or a payment required for using Somalia's sea. Essentially, they were saying, "You are hurting our sea, and you must pay us for it." These first actions were simple and happened only a few times each year. Some experts later described this as subsistence piracy. It was piracy because it involved taking control of ships and asking for money. However, for many of the fishermen, it started as a way to survive and protect their environment and jobs against foreign exploitation. These early acts were not complex or part of a large plan. For example, one early attempt involved around 26 men in a small wooden boat who briefly took a larger ship but seemed unsure what to do next, eventually just stealing some items. The world outside Somalia mostly did not notice these few incidents. It was not considered a major global issue at that time. However, a terrible natural event made things much worse. In December of the year 2004, a powerful tsunami, a very large wave, hit the coast of Somalia. The tsunami caused terrible damage. It destroyed many homes and ruined the small fishing boats that local people depended on. This disaster made life extremely difficult for communities already struggling. The wave also washed ashore some of the harmful waste that had been secretly dumped in the sea, confirming its presence and dangers. Even after the tsunami, Somalia remained a country without peace or strong control. A central government did not effectively rule all parts of the nation. Different regions were controlled by powerful local groups or warlords. The country was unstable and unsafe. This difficult environment, combined with the problems caused by outsiders using their waters and the damage from the tsunami, created conditions where the simple acts of fishermen defending their sea could begin to grow and change into more organized and serious piracy. 5. Pirates get stronger. Pirates became much smarter and stronger. They did not just use small boats near the coast anymore. They started using larger ships, like floating bases far out at sea. These big ships were called motherships. Small, fast attack boats went out from these big ships. This helped pirates go far into the ocean to find ships. They also used new technology. Pirates had radar. This helped them find ships from far away, even in the dark or bad weather. They used GPS devices to know their exact location on the map. They used satellite phones to talk to each other over long distances. Pirates also became good at finding information about ships online. They looked on websites and databases to learn about ships' routes and schedules. With these better tools and methods, pirates started new plans. Their main goal became taking ships and holding the people on them as prisoners. They did not just ask for small amounts of money like before. They began asking for very, very large sums of money to release the ships and their crews. This big payment for freedom is called a ransom. Ransoms could be millions of dollars. Asking for ransoms changed everything for the pirates. It made them a lot of money. Some people were held prisoner for a very long time until a ransom was paid. For example, an American writer named Michael Scott Moore was captured by pirates. He was kept in Somalia for almost 3 years. His family and friends worked to pay the money the pirates wanted. Only after the ransom was paid was Michael Scott Moore set free. Leaders in Somalia who had power, called warlords, saw that pirates were making huge amounts of money from ransoms. These warlords wanted to get rich too. They started to invest in piracy. This meant they gave money to the pirates. They paid for better boats, faster engines, modern guns, and other supplies the pirates needed for their attacks far from shore. The warlords treated piracy like a business, where they gave money and expected a share of the ransom profit. Because of the large amounts of money from ransoms and the financial help from warlords, pirate attacks off the coast of Somalia increased greatly. The number of attacks grew very quickly, especially starting in the year 2007. Pirates were attacking many ships every month. The sea near Somalia became one of the most dangerous places in the world for ships. The pirates were now stronger, better planned, and had more resources than before. This made them a much bigger threat to international shipping. By 2011, the number of attacks was very high, and the average ransom paid was much larger than before. Piracy was a big, bad business. 6. The pirate business. When pirates attacked ships and held the people inside, they wanted money. This money was called a ransom. When they got the ransom money, it changed things. The pirates gave some of this money to the powerful leaders who helped them. These leaders were like bosses for the pirates. With the money, the leaders could buy more fast boats. They bought more guns and weapons. They also paid young men to join them as pirates. This made the pirate groups bigger and stronger. Some small towns near the coast started to get rich because of the pirates. Many people in these towns made money from piracy. The rich pirate leaders used their money to build very big and nice houses. Some reports said that in one pirate town there was even a place like a stock market. This meant local people could put their money into a pirate trip. If the pirates on that trip got a big ransom, the local people who invested would get more money back. It was like putting money into a business. The pirate leaders sometimes said that they were doing this for a good reason. They said they were fighting against the big foreign boats that stole fish or put bad waste in the sea. They sometimes said they would use the ransom money to help Somalia or clean the water. But often this was not true. The real reason was to get rich and powerful. They used their power to hurt people. They even stopped and stole ships that were carrying food and medicine for the Somali people who needed help. Piracy was not about helping Somalia anymore. It was a big, bad criminal business. The pirate business grew very fast. It became very successful for the people at the top. By the year 2011, pirates attacked ships very often. In that year, they took many ships. They also held many people as prisoners, more than 1,200 people in that year alone. The amount of money they made was huge. On average, a pirate group got about $5 million for one ship. In total, the pirates made about $150 million from ransoms in 2011. This showed how big and powerful the pirate business had become. 7. The world acts. For a long time, the world did not see Somali piracy as a big problem. But some attacks were so big that countries had to look. One time, pirates attacked a ship with many tourists. It was a big, nice cruise ship. The pirates used rocket guns. One hit a room, but the ship got away. This attack made news in many countries. People started to worry. Later, in 2008, pirates took a ship from Ukraine. This ship had many guns, tanks, and other weapons inside. They were going to a country called Sudan. The pirates wanted a lot of money, like $35 million, to give the ship back. Countries like the United States and Russia sent their navy ships to watch the Ukrainian ship. They did not want the weapons to go to the pirates or other bad people. The pirates did not get $35 million, but they did get more than $3 million. The ship with the weapons then went on its way. This event showed the world that the pirates were now very dangerous and could cause big problems for many countries. The most famous attack happened a few months later. Pirates took a big ship from the United States. It was a container ship carrying goods. 4 pirates got on the ship. They took the sailors as prisoners. They asked for $2 million. The United States government does not usually pay money to get prisoners back. Instead, they sent their special soldiers, the Navy SEALs. After 4 days, the SEALs came. They shot 3 of the 4 pirates and saved the captain and the other sailors. This event was made into a movie. These dramatic things were in the news everywhere. People around the world now knew how serious Somali piracy was. Stopping the pirates was not easy. First, ships on the sea cannot always have guns. There are rules from different countries about guns. Shipping companies also worried that guns on their ships could cause problems. Second, it was hard for Navy ships to find the pirates. Pirates often used small boats and looked like normal fishermen. When they attacked a big ship, they used the sailors as human shields. This means they kept the sailors with them to stop Navy ships from shooting. Third, the sea is very, very big. It is a huge area of water. It was hard for Navy ships to watch every ship in such a large place. Piracy has always been hard to stop on the open sea. But countries and companies that own ships started to work together. They thought of new ways to fight back. An international group gave ships new advice. Ships were told to use strong water hoses to spray water at the pirates. This could push them away or make it hard for them to climb up. Ships put sharp wire, like barbed wire, on the sides so pirates could not climb easily. They put strong locks on doors. They made special safe rooms, called citadels, inside the ship. Sailors could hide in these rooms if pirates got on board. Ships also started to travel together in groups, like a long line of ships. This was called a caravan. They used special paths on the sea that were known to be watched. Sometimes, Navy ships from different countries would travel with the groups of ships to protect them. Another important step was that ships were allowed to hire armed guards. These were people with guns who could fight the pirates if they tried to attack. These guards stayed on the ships as they sailed through dangerous waters. All these new plans worked very well. After 2011, the number of pirate attacks went down a lot. The dangerous time of Somali piracy began to end. 8. The end of Somali piracy? Stopping the pirates near Somalia was a good thing for ships and sailors sailing in that area. The sea lanes became much safer for trade. But for many people still living in Somalia, life was very hard even after the pirates stopped. Their country still had many big problems. The sea near their homes was still hurt. Years before, outside boats had taken too many fish, making it hard for local fishermen to work. Also, bad waste had been put in the water, which hurt the sea and the people. Some people had no jobs and not much food to eat. For these people, who often had no help from a strong central government, becoming a pirate sometimes felt like a way to get money just to live. This makes the story of Somali piracy complex and difficult to fully understand. It is not easy to say clearly who was always right or wrong in this situation. The people who became pirates had hard lives and felt their country and waters were not protected by the world or their own government. But the pirates also hurt innocent people on the ships and took their freedom for money. Today, large pirate attacks near Somalia are not common anymore. The new plans used by many countries and shipping companies worked well. Ships are much safer when they travel near Somalia now. But stopping piracy in one place does not mean it has stopped everywhere in the world. Piracy is still a problem in other areas. It has moved to other parts of Africa. For example, now there are more pirate attacks near the country of Nigeria. This area is called the Gulf of Guinea. The reasons for these attacks can be different from Somalia, often involving stealing oil from ships. Piracy happens when people have very difficult lives and few chances for work. If young men cannot find jobs or make a living in a normal way, they might look for other ways to get money, even if those ways are crimes like piracy. It is also easier for piracy to start and grow quickly if a country's government is weak. If the government cannot protect its people, provide jobs, or stop crime, then bad leaders can see a chance to make money from illegal things, like organizing pirate groups. These leaders often invest in pirate trips, hoping to get rich from the large amounts of money taken from ships as ransoms or from stealing goods. Piracy can start and grow when people are poor, when bad leaders want money, and when the government is not strong enough to help its people or protect its waters from criminals. Thinking about the story of Somali piracy and where piracy happens now, do you think piracy will ever stop completely around the world? Or will it always move to new places where problems like poverty and weak governments exist?